Hello and welcome back to the Dirt Trail Running with Coaches podcast. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Coach Loretta, and we're here today with our special guest, Lily Medina.
Woo.
Hi, everyone.
I guess most all of our listeners know Lily because everyone knows Lily and everyone loves Lily. So we're excited to talk to her today because Lily has taken on a huge feat this year for running. I've been coaching Lily since like 2022. We've been together a really long time, so this is a really big one for us. So she is doing the Midwest Super Slammer, which consists of 5 races that need to be completed in the same year. So these races happen to be about 4.5 months total over the span of the 5 races. So super excited to get into it and talk about that.
So yes, and I already had my first race on May 31st, which was the Mohican Trail 100, and that was in Louisville, Ohio. And I mean, it went really well. I really was didn't know what to expect, I should say. I knew that the course was very technical, and I knew it had a lot of elevation, but you just know that stuff, but you really don't know what it's going to be like until you're actually in there and running the course.
Absolutely.
You can do all the training, you can do all the imagining and visualization, but I think until you're there, that's when it really either comes together or doesn't.
Right.
And you adjust as you go. But yeah, it was a great race. It was very tough for me. I'll be honest. It was I really misjudged and I guess wasn't expected the elevation. I mean, I knew it was there, but I think when you run, it's a looped course. So when you learn the first 2 loops, you're like, oh, this isn't bad. But then loop 3 around and
cumulative.
like, oh my God, I can't get this done. The miles definitely stack after a while.
Right.
But it was a beautiful. I think the weather was great. It was mostly cloudy when we ran. And it did get a little bit hot for just a few hours, and then it was cloud cover with some drizzle and rain. But overall, I think it was great weather to be out there, especially for the beginning of the year as a racer, because you're not ready for all that heat anyway.
Right.
Quite yet. Well, at least I'm not.
Right.
Living in the Midwest, we haven't had much exposure to heat till now.
Right.
So I thought, I mean, it went well. I managed to. My goal was to do around 22 hours. I went a little bit over with 22 and 44, but it was still good. I felt great through most of the course. I near the end, of course, you have your stomach issues, and I wasn't able to take any gels or things like that, but I was still able to just drink water, stay hydrated, and like solid food was amazing. I think I've had the most ramen noodles ever. Ramen noodles and pancakes. I was like just stuffing pancakes in my pack, and whenever I could, I just munch on them. But I think I felt like those are the only things that I could keep down, just the ramen and the pancakes for whatever reason. Gels were like out of the question. I couldn't even stand to look at them by that point.
Right.
So I have to say, because this has been brought up many times with the athletes that I coach in the Midwest, pancakes are a Midwest aid station thing. It doesn't exist out here, just so you know.
Oh my gosh. Well, I kind of figured because I mean, I raced in Texas and they did not have pancakes in Texas. And I was like, where are the pancakes? And they're staring at me like, what's wrong with you? We have burritos, but not pancakes.
Yeah, not pancakes.
That's great.
But no, everybody needs pancakes. They're life. I mean, if you have the ramen, you gotta have the pancakes, especially in the middle of the night or early in the morning. They just hit the best.
Yeah.
Nice. Yes. Well, I'm going to just share a little from my coaching perspective because, of course, I was frantically tracking the race, watching to see how things were going. And, it's a little hard because the trackers don't always update right away. And I'm checking and checking.
Yeah.
Wanting to see how she's doing. And, all day she seemed pretty solid, consistent, right on target for right near the goal pace that we were hoping for, which was exciting. But I think most exciting was that last loop. From what I could see, she went in second place female, probably about 35 minutes behind or maybe 45 minutes behind first. And when she finished, she ended up becoming first female, which was really good.
I was so surprised. I had no idea because I ran with the first place female. It was I think it was like third loop. We ran a couple of miles together. And then, she's like, oh, we'll see out in the trail. I'm like, all right, go get it. She looked super strong. And
Yeah.
I mean, I could tell she just looked, and she was like, she was just so happy to be on the trail. She was just smiling, and she's like, "My family's here. This is my first 100." And I
Oh
was like, "Well,
my
you're doing amazing."
God.
And she took off, and I was like, "Well, there she goes," and that was that. And I knew she was ahead of me the whole time. I never saw her again.
Yeah.
Right.
So I had no idea like how far she was. I just know she was ahead of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah, but
interesting that those races, when it gets dark too, it's hard to see who's
Yeah. Who you're passing or what's happening.
yeah, when you do
yeah,
change there in that last part, it's hard to even know that you passed somebody that you thought you were behind or whatever. So that was a
right,
nice when
right.
you finished and you were thinking you were finishing second and first overall female, which is pretty incredible. So,
Amazing.
a great way to kick
Yeah.
Yeah. Congrats.
Yeah, I was third for a while, and I think it was I don't know if it was my third or my fourth, but I remember passing the second place girl.
Yeah.
I can remember, like, she was working really hard with her pacer, and I was like, I wish I had a pacer. I was thinking to myself, and it must have been the third loop, because then that's when I picked up Efrain on my fourth one.
Yeah,
But I remember seeing her. I'm like, oh, I gotta pass her. Like, I can do this. So I
right.
mean, I passed her. I pushed really hard, and she was pushing back, like she wanted her spot back. But I mean, at one point, I hit a downhill, and I was like, okay, I'm taking this. And I don't know, I love the downhill. I really do. I'm
Mhm.
not afraid of it. So I took it, and I think that's when she just kind of stayed back a little. She didn't, and it was dark. It was, it was at night, so she probably didn't feel as comfortable as I did going downhill at night. But
Right.
she definitely got me on the hikes. She
Uh-huh.
could get me on the hikes any day. She was a strong
I want to
hiker.
know, because I'm not familiar with this particular race. I haven't coached anyone to do it, or I haven't done it. But what is the elevation gain on this one?
It's like 14,000
Mm,
about.
very good. So that's a good Midwestern one for
Yeah, it
elevation.
is. Yeah. And I wasn't prepared. I mean, it's like, how do you prepare for that? I feel like
Yeah,
I mean, you do the climbing and the practice, but it's like
it does
until you're
add up over the every 10 miles feels like another 20 because of the elevation. Like it's accumulative.
right.
Yeah.
And I feel like those hills just were rolling,
Yeah.
rolling on ending hills. So that makes it feel worse, because okay, so where
Yeah.
do I walk? Where do
Yeah.
I run? Like, I can't tell anymore.
Yeah, those are the ones even on like a normal run, I kind of avoid those trails that are rolling because to me that destroys your legs worse. Like I'd rather do like a 3 mile climb and a 3 mile descent than to
Yes.
roll. Like the
Yeah,
rollers
and that's what this
destroy
course
me.
was all. It was all
Yeah.
like that. There was two huge climbs, but that
Mhm.
was it. Like, and you could really tell they were climbs.
Right.
You were on them for a while, and you can really see it. But most of them were like
Roller.
rolling and winding. So at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like you couldn't remember what was coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it was a fun trail for sure.
Yeah. Well, congrats on
Well,
knocking
thank
number one.
you. Thank you.
So you have what number two this weekend is Kettle Moraine, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful. So I haven't ran this one either, but I have coached people to do it. But Loretta, maybe you want to kind of explain about Kettle. I know you have really close ties to it.
Yeah, so I would really like Lily too, because Lily has done it and
Yeah.
spent a lot of time there. And I would like to kind of tell us a little bit about Kettle and what you're thinking about going into this, because sometimes it's hard to approach the same course again at
Again,
100.
yeah,
It is. Yeah. I ran it in 2022 as my first 100 miler.
awesome.
So I love the course. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
I think it's at 8,000 feet of elevation,
Mm,
8 or 10, something like that.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's definitely less than Burning River. So I mean,
Mhm.
that gives me a little more confidence, since I'm sure, a little torn up. My legs are still
Yeah.
from 2 weeks ago. I do have a high goal of hopefully PRing there. I
Mhm.
did 22 hours and 20 minutes, I believe,
Mhm.
3 years ago when I did it for the first time as my first 100. So I'm hoping to PR. I'll be honest. I have a big
Yeah.
goal. So around 22 hours, hopefully, or just,
Mhm.
or under,
Under
as long as I get my PR there. But I mean, it's a different circumstance.
right.
I'm not just off of I just got
Yeah.
off of a 100 miler, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I've been training a little longer
Right.
with more guidance.
Yeah.
And, I've been hopefully all of this will come together, and I can, at least that's all I want, really, my PR there.
Right.
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 But I mean, and if it doesn't happen to be that way, well, it doesn't. Like, it is what it is. I got to honor my body for what it can do right now. And that's
Right.
it.
Right. Absolutely. Uh, this year we've spent a little bit time doing some different things with Lily's training. Lily's always done some sort of
Yeah.
strength training, but really this year we kind of dived deep into heavy strength. She got herself a squat rack and some big plates, and
Yeah.
she's gotten super strong. Do you want to talk a little bit about your journey with strength training?
Yeah, before I would do some strength training, mainly with just dumbbells, just basic gym stuff that I would, get offline, a workout. But then, I kept seeing like, you gotta lift heavy, you gotta lift heavy. I mean, I was really scared. I'll be honest. I think I bought that, squat rack used, and it sat there for what, like 6 months. And I just stare at it, and I would tell Loretta, I'm like, I can't do it. I just can't.
Yeah.
I'm too afraid of it. And then I think the beginning of the year just about came around, and I'm like, you know what? This is like, I can't just not. It's sitting there. I spent the money. I might as well get into it. So then a week after week, she would give me a workout, and I'd be like, does this look good? Does this look good? I mean, every other day I'm sending her videos. Am I doing this right? Because it doesn't
Right.
feel right. It doesn't feel right.
Scary, yeah.
But
Yeah,
I'm over now. I'm not scared anymore. I mean, I'm sure I'm still don't know what I'm doing, but it doesn't feel as scary or
Right.
impossible like it did at first. Like I was like, there's no way I can do this.
right,
Right.
right.
I would always go back to, like, I'll do a couple of lifts or a couple of moves, and I'll go back to just my regular dumbbells. I'm like, oh, this is so much more comfortable. I just felt confident in doing
Yeah.
that. I didn't know
Everything,
any
yeah, everything when you started is a little scary, but it sounds like
very.
you've
I
nailed
was
it.
terrified of that thing. I was just like, it just sat there. I would walk through by it every single day, and I'm like, I'll get to that.
Yeah,
And
I'll get to it eventually. That would be
yeah.
me, by the way. That would 100% be me. Like that, the intention's there, but it's gonna sit there until I can get my
Yes.
brain
And
around it.
yep. And when I decided to do this Grand Slam, I was like, no, this is serious. Like this is
Yeah,
gonna take a
yeah,
lot of work. I really
yeah.
need to prep as much as I can. And
Right,
that's when I just pulled the plug, and I said, all right, I'm doing it. And here we go.
Yeah.
right.
And
And
I'm so glad that you did, because I think that that's been a big key change in your fitness. I mean, I've just seen your fitness increase incredible amount this year, which is
mhm.
really exciting to watch that grow. And it's been fun helping support you with videos and helping you master your form for deadlifts and for back squats. You're doing great. You're getting so much stronger. I see pictures of you and think, wow, she is getting so fit and so
It's so funny that I can't see that though. I'm like, "Ugh, I don't think this is working. It's not doing anything, but I'm gonna do it anyway,
Yeah,
like,
you
and
see yourself every day. Yeah, it's hard to
yeah.
acknowledge
Well,
the
and I feel like
progress.
I'm not good with numbers. So, like you can track all of that and your percentages. I'm like, they don't make sense to me. Like, I
Yeah,
just don't have that kind of a brain. So
yeah.
then I just rely on people to tell me, okay, yeah, you're doing good, or this is what it is. I'm like, okay, perfect. That's all I need to know. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And
right.
That's it.
yeah, that's
I
it.
think that she's hit both of our big goals when I'm working with an athlete that's really getting into the heavy strength is to work towards being able to deadlift 100% of your body weight, one rep
Mhm.
max. We never go to the one rep max, but I have a nice little calculator that can tell you, like, if I lift 5 at this amount, this is what my one rep max would be. And
Mhm.
then for back squats, around 80 to 100% of body weight. And I think she has hit both of those, which is
Yeah,
amazing. And I think she's doing multiple reps of that weight with both of those.
very cool.
So she's well surpassed that. And that was the whole mindset, is going into something like this is, it's a big ask to ask your body to run 5 100s in
Yeah.
less
Yes.
seconds, right? So I told Lily from the beginning, I'm super excited about this challenge because I know she's going to kill it. But I think the big thing is going in as strong and fit as possible.
Mhm.
That very first one, Mohican, and then we have to really, like, I told her, like, recovery is your job these two
Yeah,
next 2 weeks to get ready
yeah.
for Kendall. There's really no training at that point or increasing fitness in 2 weeks, right? It's all
No.
that recovery, getting your body recovered, getting your mind recovered, because it's a big mental piece too. It's physically exhausting or mentally exhausting finishing
Yeah.
100 and then coming back and going, okay, I'm doing this again.
Again. Yeah.
No, I was really panicked. I couldn't imagine the people that did the slam last year because they only had a week in between both
Mhm.
races.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like just
That's a lot.
thinking back to last Saturday, I would have been like, there's no way I'm running 100,
Right.
Yeah.
you know. But
Yeah.
luckily this year, we had
You
two
got a
weeks
2
in
week.
between. But
Yeah.
I feel like this is really the only week I've really had of downtime. Last week I was still I teach, So I was still going to work and we were closing out my classroom. And
Right.
of course, all of the end of the year. So I was like high stressed.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I felt
fine.
like my body was like still in that high from that race, but then the high of closing up my room and, saying
Yeah.
goodbye to the kids and all of that
Yeah.
until like Friday when I finally, closed my room. I didn't have to go in anymore and everything was done. I think my body that Friday and that Saturday just blocked completely. Like everything felt like it was achy and
Yeah.
all over again. I'm like, just what happened? I was fine during the week.
Right.
I've only ever ran two close together, but I've done it twice. I ran Badwater and then Angela's Crest like 9 days apart. And what I
That's
will
crazy.
tell you, sleep as much as you can. Of course, I'm sure you're trying to do that. But also like the things that, let's say, like my feet are always an issue. So like I had blisters starting that second one. So if you have any little bitty issue in between those two, really take care of it like as best as you possibly can. But I think the most important thing is the sleep factor. Like it takes so long for you to come back out of that 100-mile fog that you're not going to be out of it in 2 weeks. So sleep
Yeah.
as you can.
I think I kind of like I wasn't sleeping very much that
Yeah,
first week because of the restless legs, and then my
exactly.
brain just like I
Yeah,
gotta get all these things done,
yeah, yeah,
by Friday, and
yeah.
But I think this week I'm hitting the sleep a little bit harder. Like
Good.
I mean, I'm still up at
Yeah,
5 a.m. every morning, but
right.
at
Yeah,
least it's not 4.
exactly.
It's okay to take a nap today and take a nap tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
The
I
fitness is
should.
done. Yeah, you're not going to get any fitness before the next one, and you're not going to lose any either. So
Yeah,
just
and see, and
please.
I'll be honest, I feel like I was really good about listening to my coach this time because
Yes.
Good.
I know she puts
No
in
problem.
those rest days, and I have a hard time. But last week I really been on it. Like I've been really
Good.
been just doing what I have to, and then even if it's a rest day, I just take my dog out for a walk.
Yeah.
Just an easy 30-minute walk
Yeah.
Yeah.
just to get out. But I'm not always the best listener about rest days
About
sometimes.
rest.
But
Yeah.
I was serious about this one. I'm like, I
Good.
need it.
Because it is, and I know that about you, and putting that in, I'm like, just entering extra rest days, I'm like, this is gonna kill
She's
her.
going to hate this.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard, but you did it, and
I need my dog. My dog needs a walk.
right, and that's okay. That's okay. It's just a little bit of active rest there, but I think that
Yes.
it's going to pay off in the end that you're, taking a little bit of time off. What other things have you done? I mean, I sort of know already, but what other things have you done for recovery to recover from that race? What kind of
Um,
things did you do?
I've been going to my chiropractor, which is amazing. I love the dry needling.
Me
Mhm.
So
too.
I've been doing a lot. It's just amazing. I
Yeah.
love the pain, the
Yeah. It feels good.
grittying. Yes, it does. And cupping. I bought a cupping system, which I've been
Good.
using faithfully almost every day, just on,
Mhm.
like I
Little.
did a few on my shin. Even today I did some on my shin and
Mhm.
on my hamstrings, on the back
Yeah.
of my hamstrings.
Yeah.
I
And
get
my lower back, I feel like my lower back is always an issue for
little
me.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been really focusing on that, like
Good.
cupping. I have the recovery boots.
Mm-hmm.
So I not this week so much, but that first week I would do them every
Yeah.
night. And I've been doing Epsom salt soaks as well
Yep. Yeah.
because I
Awesome.
feel like it, yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I've been really pretty good honestly on
Yep.
my recovery and that.
Good. Good.
Yes, that's
But
awesome.
I've had the time. That's the thing. I have
Yeah.
had the time for that.
Right. Well, when you take away all that running and that strength training and
Yeah.
you have a little bit more time for recovery, which is really great too. So
Yes.
Yes.
exciting. So I want to just circle back because when we were talking about strength training, I wanted to also like highlight that Lindsay has also gotten into more strength training this year too.
I
And I
know. I have a workout planned after this, believe it or not. Yeah, I'm one of these people that just it's not my favorite thing to do. I'd rather go run. Versus if I've got an hour, you'll find me running versus lifting. But I have made it a priority. I'm doing it 2 to 3 times a week now. And I actually work out with one of my friends down the road. So make it like a whole thing. And yeah, I'm past like the every time soreness phase, which is the hardest part to get past. And then I also work with my arms, so I hate being sore at all when I'm working. But now that's like subsided, so I'm still like a little sore, but it's nothing I can't handle. But yeah, I definitely think it helps just an overall, composition of your body, but I just did curl jewel, and I have such a lower back problem, and my back was not a problem at all. The climb, I mean, that race has, oh gosh, like 36,000 feet of climb, and I
That's
didn't
insane.
feel it. I didn't feel it. Like, it was great. So I really worked on like single leg strength and full body strength, and my back held up no problem. So super thankful. So strength training works even if you don't like doing it.
So many benefits
I
from
don't mind doing it. It was just the barbell part of it that was
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah,
That's
I
But
don't
I
like
do.
doing
I
it.
do.
but
It
once you
just
start
makes
doing
you work a little bit different. It makes you feel a different kind of stronger, you
Yeah.
know?
once
Yeah.
you start doing it, I think it gives you strength training gives you so many things. I think one huge thing is confidence. I mean,
Yeah.
you become a more confident, strong person. I think that's huge. Obviously, body composition is a piece, that bone density is a
Mm,
piece. And then also just looking at that running efficiency. If I can really look at the athletes that I coach that are really delving into heavier strength, and I can see that their heart rates are improving. I can see that their
right.
pace is getting faster. I can see that their climbs are getting easier, which are
Yeah.
all great things. And plus, then we can ward off hopefully getting any kind of big injuries if we
Yeah.
can stay strong. So super excited that both of you are doing that. So I'm on
Yeah.
a trip right now for about 5 weeks in our van, and I'm trying to figure out how to like bring strength training equipment. And I'm like, can I
Right.
bring a barbell? My husband's like, no, you cannot.
No.
Like, I need
Like,
something
I need something.
to me.
Go find a rock.
Lift the dog, something. You'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out too. Because right after Kettle, I'm gonna go visit my family in Mexico. My parents
Mhm.
live down there, so I'm gonna be out there for about a month, and that's what my brain is thinking right now. Like, where am
Yeah.
I gonna do my strength training? How am
Yeah,
I gonna do that? You know.
yeah.
Yeah. And
So,
how long is it between number 2 and number 3? And what is number 3?
the next one after Kettle is Burning River, and that's gonna be on July 26th. So it's about
6 weeks.
yeah.
In
So
Burning
it's
River, what's that course?
that's in Ohio as well, the
Mhm.
northeast of Ohio.
That's more of a flat one? No, is it?
It's got some elevation, but not as much. I
Not as
think it's
much
probably
as,
the same, yeah,
yeah.
as the others. I think it's a little bit less than Kettle, honestly.
And so while we're at it, what are 4 and 5? What are the 4 and 5?
So 3 is Burning River,
Mhm.
in July, then Hallucinations or Woodstock
Yeah.
in Michigan on September the 5th. And
Mhm.
then the slam ends with Indiana Trail 100 on October 11th.
Wonderful. So out
Yeah.
of all of these, which is the one you're most excited about, and which is the one like you're most worried about or most not so
Well,
excited?
honestly, the one that I was most worried about was Mohican, and
Okay.
that's done. So that's my worries done. I
Mhm.
mean, it's not that I'm not worried about the other ones, but I think this one because of the elevation that it
Mhm.
had and just how everybody said it was so technical, which it was,
It
so
was, yeah.
risky and rocky.
Yeah.
And I just had a win not falling once, and that's what I kept telling myself.
Amazing.
That was the first thing I told my husband when I saw him. I have not fallen yet, not even once. And by the end of the race, I was like, no falls.
That's a
And then I
win.
ended up with an injured wrist, but that's
And
a different story.
and you didn't
Yeah.
get lost.
And I didn't get lost.
That's
You're
also
right.
a big win.
Which I was really scared. There were some sections where I was like, I don't know,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
didn't get lost. The other ones, Burning River, Hallucination, Indiana Trail, I've never done.
Okay.
So I really don't know what to accept, but I'm honestly looking just really forward to Kettle just because I've ran it before, and
Yeah.
I'm close to the OMR community,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it's
It's a
just
good
great
thing.
to see everybody, and I know a lot of people there. All the aid stations are going to be so amazing,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
I'm going to get to see friends at hopefully at all of them. So I think that's what gets me excited, that I mean, yeah, I'm just going to have a great day just seeing them.
Right.
Like, and I'm
What
really excited about it.
and what's the weather going to be like for Kettle? Have we seen?
I try not to look just because I'm sure it's going to be hot. It always is every year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I haven't looked, I'll be honest, just because I'm like, no, I'm not there yet.
Yep.
I'll worry about that
You're
tonight
like
and
me.
tomorrow when I pack.
You're like me. I show up to a race, like I don't even look at the map. I'm like, I'm gonna be in it no matter what. Like I'd rather
Yep.
not know when there's a big climb coming. I know I've prepped for it, but I don't need to know where it is.
That's the way I look at it. Like,
That's
I don't
none
need
of
a
my
yeah.
business.
Nope, me neither. I mean, I just like, even when the people, they're like, has this much elevation? I'm like, okay, whatever.
Okay,
Like it
I've
makes
got
no
to do
sense
it one
to
or
me in
the
my
other.
head anyway. Like you said, I'm gonna have to run it no matter what. So might as well just show up, see what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah.
Right.
Some people know
I'm not
exactly.
tied to those numbers.
No, me either.
So I
I'll just
can't.
tell you
Like,
a little secret. I hear it's supposed to be pretty decent this weekend, so
is
let's
it?
six to that.
Yeah,
Oh, I hope.
yeah,
Well, pretty decent to who? I mean, I don't mind the warmer weather. Those 30s and 40s are not good with me. I know a
no,
lot of people love
either.
it, but I'm like, no, that
Yeah,
requires me to wear gloves. That's not
no,
good to me.
Well, the
no.
last forecast I was told was like 50 to 65
Oh,
degrees, so
nice.
it could be
That's gonna be
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, that would be nice.
could creep up. It can always creep up.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
especially in that, yeah, kettle, some
Yeah,
kind of mist or rain.
for
But
sure.
yes, I'm
So
definitely looking
I'm most
forward to it.
excited for Hallucination 100 because it's about 15 minutes from my house and I'll be able to go there and support Lily. So I'm
Awesome.
I know that's super exciting.
yeah, it will be fun and it's a fun environment race, pretty exciting, nice community there, camping right there on the right by the trail. So it will be super fun.
That's what I keep hearing about that one. I heard that's the most fun of all of them
Mhm.
on the schedule.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody rates it.
love it.
Yes, how it's very low key.
Yes, yes. So tell us a little bit about Kettle. Who's pacing you? Who's crewing you?
I have actually a friend that will be pacing me, Kat Delheimer. She's gonna be pacing me for the last 38. So the fun run she gets to do. I paced her on her um on her race last year, the last 38. So she's pacing me this year. I have friends of mine, Missy and Aaron, that are going to be crewing me for the morning part of it, and I'm sure they'll probably stick around to the night. And then a friend that's going to take over, Lynn, who's going to take over in the afternoon for crewing.
Nice, nice. No
So
Ephraim this time?
Efrain is going to be running the 100K.
Okay, okay, nice.
So yeah, so he can't crew or pace. So he's
Okay,
on his own. I'm on my own. We'll
okay.
see what happens.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fun. That'll be fun to both be out
Yeah.
together. So together in spirit.
Yes.
Yes. And then I plan to hang out after I'm done and volunteer at the start and finish
Okay.
Oh,
at
I
the
love
aid
that.
station there. I love that. I just love that start
The
the
community.
finish line there. It's
Yeah,
fun.
love seeing that.
So, and I feel like after you're done, you're on that high anyway. Like I try
Yeah.
going to sleep, but it doesn't. So I'm just like, I might
No,
as well just stay
might as
up.
well stay up. Yeah.
You know,
No,
especially when you have friends there, it's like you can't.
you
You
can't
want
miss
to
out.
chat to everybody, you want to spend time with them. So
Yep.
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to being done and just hanging out.
Yeah.
Sort of calls you the energizer buddy. She'll be like, I can't believe it. Lily just like ran 100 and now she's helping at the aid station. Like this energy.
I love it. No, it's so
It's
infectious
that
too.
race high. I think it just sticks for me with me for a little bit longer. It's
Right.
just amazing though how I'm so tired. I just want to be done, and then I'm done, and I'm like, okay, what's next? What are we
What's
gonna
next?
do?
What are we doing? I
Right.
love it.
So
Very
I just want to share just a little bit of fact because I think it's good information to share out there. So the last person who has the record for the Super Slammer is
cool.
Brenda Johnson, and her total hours of accumulation is 104 hours, 5 minutes, and 21 seconds. That's how long it took her to run all 5 races. So it'll be kind of fun to follow along with Lily. No pressure, Lily, but
Right?
you're there, so we'll be tracking just to see where you are in that. So
That's really cool.
Yeah.
it's fun that
She's
they
a
track
strong
that,
runner.
I think.
I'll get to see her. I at Hallucination. She'll be there.
Oh, nice. Have you ever met her before?
I've never met her, but I've just had a contact with her because I
Yeah.
had a lot of questions to ask her at the beginning because I knew
Yeah.
she'd done it, and I was like, well, I knew to ask another female, like, how do you do it? What did you do?
That's
Right.
So yeah, so she'll be at Hallucination for sure.
Right.
okay.
So maybe Burning River she mentioned. So
Mhm.
hopefully I'll get to see her and finally actually meet her.
That's fun. So,
Yeah.
like, what is one of the best tips she gave you? Did she give you any good tips that you're?
Rest.
Yes.
She said rest. Yep, that's what she said. She
Yep.
emphasized just resting and recovery.
Yep.
Yeah.
Eat all the good food, sleep as much as you can, take it easy between these races.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's like, because your body will thank you. Your body,
Yeah.
deserves that. But yeah, she really emphasized just the resting.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
mhm.
So, I think we've kind of hit all the races. Any more questions that you have, Lindsay?
Yeah, I wanted to kind of just for speaking for the athletes out there, everybody's busy and it's different from another runner, from a coach. Sometimes we have athletes that, everyone has a job, most people, or if you're a stay at
Mhm.
home mom, everyone's really busy. And it's oftentimes, I'm sure, Loretta, you run into this, people have this idea that they have to do their workout in the morning or they just don't do it for the day. Oh, they're too busy, they're too tired, because you do have this big task ahead of you, and I know your training was crazy. How do you get over that? How do you find the time, or how do you find the motivation to say, okay, maybe I didn't get it done first thing in the morning? How do you find the motivation after work to go do it? Like, what's kind of your secret to staying on a training schedule?
Um, I, I don't know. I just
You
because
think
I
it's
know
motivation?
I don't know if it's motivate. I think it's I'm such a type A person.
Hmm.
I think that's what that helps me. That I'm like, okay, I told myself I was gonna do this goal. Now I
Hmm.
have to figure out how to get it done because I don't want to have regrets later. Like,
Right.
I missed this because I didn't get my workout in.
Right.
But I'm bad though because like if it doesn't get done in the morning, like it just sets my whole day off just
Yeah.
because I'm such a morning person and I always have been.
Yeah.
But even if it has to be done in the afternoon, like it has to be done right when I get home. Like
Right.
everything stops for me. And then I'm
I'm
like,
the
I'll get
same.
that done. And then everything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm bad. I just have to get it done in the morning. So if that means having to wake up at 3:30 in the morning to get
Hmm.
it done, I'll just do that.
Right.
Because I know my afternoons are just so hard with my kids,
Yeah. Yeah.
with my girls and getting off of work and their
It's a lot.
routines. It is.
Yeah.
So for me, I guess I just sometimes just have to sacrifice my morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go to bed a little bit earlier if I
Right.
can, and then just knowing that I will have to get up a little bit earlier.
Right. And
So
sometimes I do hear some of my athletes say, like, oh, I'm not motivated today, or I'm tired. And it's like,
mhm.
I think that's just part of the human experience, to be unmotivated and to be
Oh
tired.
my God, it
It
is.
is. And
It
sometimes
is.
you just, but the part of being a good athlete and having that, I guess it's willpower to just get it done. It doesn't matter if the motivation's there, but it creates a habit when you do it when you don't want to. And
Right. And
I
I've
think,
and I've noticed that. Like even
yeah,
when I get up and I'm like, I'm so tired, I want to do it. But then I just tell myself, you know what? Just go out there, do whatever you can. And
yeah.
then whatever you get out of it is what you get out of it. If it
Mhm.
wasn't the best of well, at least you did it.
At
And
least you
you
did
did
it. You
something
showed
instead of
up,
not
and
doing
it's
it.
a
Yeah.
cumulative efforts that matter. Like, I don't care if every single run you hit every marker, but I do care about building that consistency, because I'd
Yeah.
rather someone be consistent than to show up once a week and do the best that they possibly can. Like, all we ask is that people show up, and it does create a habit. And then the mornings don't seem so early, and then you create this habit every day of, okay, this is what I have to do, and it's showing up for yourself. So I think somebody like you that has put in so much work over the last few years with Loretta, and then has this massive goal they're going after, it's really inspirational to everybody listening, and for me as well. It's really cool.
Right.
Yeah, it's been really fun training for it. And I did
Yeah.
have a lot of those moments where I'm like, why am I doing this? Is this even
Like,
worth it?
yeah.
Especially when it was like I would do my run and then I know I had a lifting
Yeah.
session and then I was already hating the bar and I was like,
Yeah.
why does it
Why
even
did I buy this?
why? Right. And I just questioned myself and then I'd be like, you know what, just do it. Just get it over. Stop,
Yeah.
stop complaining and just do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone wants that buckle, but so few people are willing to actually put in what it takes.
Yeah, and that's what I kept reminding myself of.
Hmm.
Like, you signed up for this. This is what you wanted. Like,
Yeah.
you need to pull through
Yeah.
because nobody else is gonna do it while you're out there. You're gonna be in pain, but
Yeah.
it'll be worse if you don't do this
Right.
now.
And how do your girls, how many kids do you have?
I have two daughters.
And what do they think about all this?
They think mommy's strong. That's
Yeah.
about it. Mommy, I want to be strong like you. Mommy, I want your muscles. I'm like, well, you better get up early and go lift.
I love it so much. Like, I don't have kids, but I think it's really cool to see a mom like putting herself first for at least that short moment in the morning, and then being able to be there for your kids later in the day, and for them
Yeah.
to see you going for a goal is really cool.
Right.
I
And
feel like they get it sometimes, and other times they're like, "Why do you have to go run again, mom? Like, you
right.
have to run every day?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what time do you get up?" I'm like, "Well, this is what
Before you
and I just tell them
Right.
this is the only time I can do it."
yeah.
And honestly, it is like when I get up and I go run, I think of that as my me time. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just me out there.
Mhm.
Nobody's mom,
Yep.
or calling after me, or do we have this, do we need that, or
Yeah.
Miss Medina this. So it's like my meditation, my me time. Like, then I
Right.
just get my thoughts straight while I'm running. Like, this is
That's
what I
wonderful.
need to do, these are the priorities for today,
Yep.
and the other stuff can just wait. If it gets done, great, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But
Yep. Very
I
cool.
think
The thing is,
that's something that I don't know, I wish people would, any runner would really understand and get. Like, take it as your me time. Like,
Yeah.
this is the time you get for you, yourself, your head, your thoughts, your ideas.
Right.
And I really do. Like, when I'm running, I just think about my day,
Mhm.
and what I want it to look like, or what I want to be, done within that day, or even the day before. Like, oh, that was a bad idea, let's not do that again.
Yeah.
It just kind of sets my mind straight for the day.
Right.
It helps.
what I think is cool is what a great role model you are for your daughters.
Mhm.
Because I've seen the, pictures of them at events. They're
Oh
with
yeah, I always try to bring them.
and they're going to aspire to be fit just like their mom. So I think
Mhm.
what a great thing that you're teaching them. That's really
Oh,
awesome.
thanks. I hope. I mean, they're not very motivated. I mean, they do like to run, but on their own terms
Yeah,
when
Yeah.
they want to do it,
get there.
which is fine. I'm not pushing them to
Yeah.
do it. I just want them to find something, whatever it is. And I always tell them, try it all. Try baseball, try softball, try whatever you want. Basketball, volleyball, just find something you love.
Right.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
So
Yep.
expose them to everything, see if they can find it.
Yeah.
So I think that, you really hit it, Lindsay. I mean, Lily is very dedicated and she works
Mhm.
super hard. I don't see much concern with getting out there and getting it done for her ever. I
Mhm.
think on the flip side, we should talk a little bit about athletes that can't take that break, that can't take that rest day, which is
Yeah.
hard. I know Lily struggles sometimes with probably her training plan not being as many miles as she wants, or as many days of the week of training. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, Lily? Because I'm sure that that's hard for you because you love it.
I do, and it's really hard for me sometimes when I know I can't get the workout done the way I want it to. And I struggle with that. Or when there was, especially at the beginning, I think Loretta, I mean, I'm getting better, but at the beginning, like, even though she would say, just a 3 mile run, I'll be like, oh, I accidentally ran 6 because the weather was nice. Or like when my friends are like, I always run alone, because I run so early in the morning, but during the weekend, my friends is like, what's your plan? Well, I have an hour and a half. We have 3. Okay, I'm in, and I'm bad at that. But it's like, I feel like, to me, when they're around, when my friends are around, like, it doesn't seem to work.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, just because we are going slower, and it's a lot more fun to share the miles.
Yeah.
But it was really hard at the beginning for me to structure it, especially when I started with Loretta, that she had me on that heart rate.
Mhm.
Oh my God, I cried. I would literally cry, and I would text her after every run, like,
Like, I
this is
don't like this.
impossible. I am walking. You're asking me to walk. And she's like, you'll be fine. It will be better. And I mean, it was hard, so hard.
The process.
Well,
Yeah.
look at how
Yeah.
far you've come. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible your fitness level to
Yeah.
watch is exciting.
That is really
Oh,
cool. And I totally see that with a lot of my athletes too. Like, especially when you first get your hands on them, and
mhm.
they just love to run. And I'm the same way. But, sometimes I'll get a hold of a streaker and I'm like, okay, let's see what we can do here. Like, let's see if we can handle this person streaking, or some people like have to hit 100-mile weeks, which I hate.
Right, right. Yeah.
So like, I'm sure everyone listening, if you do tune into a running podcast, chances are you probably love to run, and this is probably resonating with lots of people, like, just trusting the process.
Yes.
Sometimes these easier weeks are helpful for muscle recovery, for injury prevention, for allowing for a stronger speed workout later in the week or next week, or being able to run your long run at a much stronger pace. Like, there's always a goal of a rest day, but I think the thing is too, as a coach, we want to have people that are in this for the long run and create longevity.
Yes.
And I think, counter to what you're seeing on social media, 100-mile weeks aren't sustainable for a long-term situation. So we want to keep athletes healthy. We want to see you live long, healthy lives and have a run life balance too, to keep the love of running going. So rest is important as well.
Right.
I agree. And I've learned a lot from that. I think I've
Mhm.
been really, really good about it. Better, a lot better now. Finding, but I think I got caught up into it. Like
Mhm.
I found running and I loved it, and I was, I was doing good. I saw
Mhm.
growth right away. So I think that's what kept me
Yeah.
going, and wanting to go. Because in my brain, it was like, well, if I stop, then how am I going to get better? Huh?
Right.
Like
Right.
there's no rest days. I can't rest because if I rest, then I'm not
Yeah.
working. If I'm not working this, then it's not gonna, it's not
Yeah.
gonna be better for me.
Yeah.
But I've been better.
Good job.
I want to hit on a couple things before we go. So one, I also think that Lily has an amazing support system around her.
Oh yeah.
Brain is always, there helping and crewing and pacing. It was really fun right before he started pacing you at Mohican. We were texting and, he was excited to get going with you. And I had no doubt, like, Ephraim's on the job. She's going to catch first and she's going to come out first. And that's exactly what happened. So that was kind of fun to watch. And then
Cool.
Yeah.
also every year, this is a piece that we have to, sort of work into Lily's training as she goes. She's from Mexico. I can't remember where at in Mexico that you're from.
I'm Jalisco. So what in Guadalajara? We're
Okay.
Mhm.
And
both
she
by
goes
there.
every year for a few weeks, like 3 to 4 weeks. And so
Mm-hmm.
then her training changes, which she gets a great opportunity for lots of hiking, climbing around her area. Although her dad doesn't love her running too far by herself.
Oh,
Yeah.
got
Understand.
it all.
Yeah. It's a
Because
dad.
Yeah.
she makes it work even while she's gone. So I think all of those pieces keep Lily strong all year round too.
Mhm.
So I think
Yes,
that's
I look forward to those. 'Cause, it's only for a little bit that I get to be in those, Mexican trails. So I just
Yeah.
take advantage and just go out there as much as I can.
Yeah. Which
I
is
don't know. And then when I'm running here, like some of the sections that I ran at Burning River reminded me of some of the stuff that I would run in Mexico, like the rocky
yeah.
area, very loose rocks and the big, huge boulders. There's this section that we had to run. I was like, oh my God, it's like I'm running back home.
I
So
love
all
that.
those things kind of just pop into my head. And I think those are the things that keep me going too
Yeah.
while I'm racing. I'm like, oh, I've ran this before. This feels
Yeah.
like this. I compare it.
Yeah.
And then just imagine or visualize myself in those other situations where I felt like less stress or less,
Yeah.
yeah.
easier
Yeah, and then
going.
I think the last thing that I'd like to talk about is Lily mentioned she's type A and certainly I'm a type A personality as well. And we've had a conversation about this, and this is a huge growth piece for Lily, I think, is learning to be adaptable in the races with her
Mhm.
nutrition and hydration. And I think that's really what's making big changes and successes out on the trails is figuring that out. Sometimes we go in with a plan, whether it's a race pacing plan or whether it's nutrition and hydration, and
Mhm.
it's not working. And we just have to kind of like throw that out the window and we have to think on the fly what we're going to do
Yeah.
next. And it's hard for somebody that's type A not to check the
Mhm.
boxes off. This is what I was going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. And it's hard to change it, even though you might
Yeah.
be feeling miserably out there. You still are like, but this is my plan.
Yeah.
So I think that that's been huge. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Lily? Because I think you've been working really hard on your nutrition and hydration and making those adaptations, as more specifically, even electrolytes, to kind of live a little bit and tweaking that along the way.
Yeah, I think the last couple of races that I ran, I realized, like I can't just go by the clock, because to me it was like every 30 minutes you got to fuel every 30 no matter what. And I would maybe till like half point through the race, and then after that things would start going wrong, but then I'm like, but I have to do this. This is what I need to do. But then I realized that like if I would just stop, like I would stop eating for a little while just till that, funkiness of your stomach would go away, and I introduced something else. I'm like, oh, okay, that kind of
Mhm.
works a little better.
Yeah.
So I have been letting that go. Like, yes, keeping my track on my watch of when I'm supposed to eat, but at the same time, how do I feel?
Yeah.
Do I need that right now? Or
Yeah.
do I need something else?
Right.
At the beginning, I'm always good with gels and things like that. But I feel like near the end, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't want any more gels. I want all the salty things,
Right.
and letting go of like, okay, who cares? I don't want the gels, but give me these things instead.
Right.
And even at Burning River, I felt like after mile 60 something, I just couldn't stomach any more gels. But I
Yeah.
was able to still eat like solids.
Right.
And it was like my stomach was happy when I would eat the solids. So then I quit the gels. And then I was just having, like liquid hydration or some liquid fuel, and then just solids. And it was fine. It works,
I,
but then you read about like, stick to the gels, stick to the things, the easy digestible. But there's a point where you're like, that doesn't work. It's like my stomach doesn't want it.
My favorite thing to do with my type A athletes, I'm not this way. So I think you almost have an advantage if you're not type A because you're more adaptable. But if I have an athlete that's very type A, and I've crewed Loretta, I've seen her notes of like what she's eating. That would stress me out, but I've seen Loretta do it. But for my type A athletes on our long runs, I'm like, I just give them something random to try. I'm like, okay, today you're going to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on mile 13. And they're like, oh my gosh, wait, what? I got to do what? But it really allows for like a race day pivot to where you can train your stomach and you can in 100 miles, things just don't ever add up the way that they're supposed to.
No.
So it's helpful to be adaptable, because if you keep trying to push those gels, if you can't handle them at mile 60, you're not going to get any benefit out of it.
No, and I've learned that. I mean, and even when I go through the aid stations, like what looks good? If it looks good, I'm eating it.
Eat it. Yeah.
And even if it's something that I've never had before.
Yeah.
Like, but there's still some things I still can't do. I don't know why, but like cookies, chocolate, I still can't do. I've tried and tried. I'm like, everybody else does it. Why not I? But I've tried and I can't. But I'll eat the salty pretzels that nobody can chow down because they're too dry.
Yeah, my favorite is like I'll eat something at the aid station, then I'll grab a handful of pretzels and put them in my disgusting pocket, and I just eat pretzels for the next 5 miles.
That was me with the pancakes. Honest to God. Like I had them everywhere. I mean, at that point they were all crumbled up and they were more like a dough, but
they're good. Care. Yeah,
they were amazing.
I do the same.
Even when I finished, I think I took my vest off.
Yeah,
and I was getting my my recovery shake going, and then I was like, oh, there's still a pancake in here, and I was like, taking it out.
One of my crew members at Badwater gave me like I think I told this last week, a cookie from her bra, like at mile 122. And I was like, ooh,
cookie, yes. Yes.
Or one of my crews handed me a bag full of potatoes and pickles all in like one mush, and was like, fun. I'm like, thank you.
I know.
Whatever works.
Yeah. Whatever works is right. Like you just don't know what's gonna work.
Being adaptable is key for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been working on that really well. It's just fun. It's just fun to race and experience the pain.
Yeah.
But then the joyful moments too, like, oh my God, I'm having so much fun. And then 2 minutes later, you're like, I hate this bar. Like I can never understand. Like
the highs and the lows are all
the highs and the lows, and how they just come and go.
Yeah. I love it. Any other things for Lily, Loretta?
I don't think so. I think we've covered it. Well, I'm super excited. I'll be tracking frantically. I have 4 athletes at Kettle this weekend, so have one. So that will be fun too. So
awesome.
So good luck.
Thank you.
And what I usually tell Lily is just go and have fun in the woods.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Go have fun. We'll be cheering for you, and we can't wait to hear about the rest of them coming up too.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure we can do a recap at the end.
Absolutely.
Yes. I'm still alive.
Yes, you will be.
All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Everyone, if you like our show, follow us on our social media. We have Instagram and Facebook, and give us a like.
Yes, and thank you. It's been so much fun hearing about your journey, Lily. We're all cheering you on, and
thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Bye.